told me about a video that Truth Defender made, speaking about a couple of things, subject matters of the people really attacking him concerning the correction that he made concerning Brother Enigma. Kind of highlighted like the level of hatred that people had towards me in his comments. Like, it's not even, that's not my channel. they take the hate from and they export it over. Yesterday I spoke about Toby. I don't know how her full name is, what her full name is. Toby made a video yesterday, right? This one. And on the comment that I made, Truth Defender responded on there, responding to Toby, and a little bit of a chat, and we were just talking about just how unsettling the thing was concerning thingy, and then Truth Defender comes in and says, and I agree with you on that one. So that was the last interaction that was down in the pinned comment and also at the top of thingy. So this is what he was saying right here.
Bazalan, I'll tell you one thing about Rick. I have nothing against Rick at all. The only thing I had against him, it was when the manner of him addressing people. That he cannot go that way. He cannot be rude. He cannot be like a bully as he's addressing. I didn't say that he was not making points in the biblical aspect of it. No. But the manner of doing things. And I want to talk about the recent video I did about Ricky. This recent video, Bazalane, God dealt with me. Like God.
I think that's the video, the one where after I watched that video, I was like, you know what? I'm a cut off the brother. I'm just not going to comment around his videos because I was like, hey, I'm just not understanding where everything is. So that's the video he's talking about.
Dealt with me and the Holy Spirit dealt with me. And I'll tell you, I've taken it down to show you that, like, I've taken it down because I really feel like it was not necessary. It was not the true way to show Christ. It was not the true way to show Christ. And I really regret about that. And I want to say to my brother Ricky, I'm very sorry. And I admit I was wrong and I'm sorry.
And so I'll play the rest of the video just in a second. So he mentions this particular video that he scrapped. I think I made a response video to it. Not I think. I made a response video to it. And am I showing it? Yeah, I think this is it right here. So this is the first one here that he made. And then I made then a follow-up video about the cutoff, right? So that's, so I had him mentioning that he cut off that video and it's not on his channel. So I cut off mine as well. You can see the thumbnail of it there. It says 14 seconds. So it means that video is scrapped. So if you actually look at my thingy and you put truth, his video, those videos that I made don't reflect there. So I removed those videos as well, which is this one. This page I haven't refreshed. I want you to see the videos first. And on this one, I hadn't removed the thumbnail. What I do is I cut the videos thingy so it retains the metadata on the video. Metadata is who did they recommend the video to, watch your channel, and so they use YouTube history in order to recommend the next video. Anyways, so I scrapped that particular part, and he does mention that apologies on that point.
I was wrong, and I'm sorry about that. So that we can, I'm not doing because this now is happening. That's why you're no. I've said it. I made a video now.
So here, what he's saying is that he's not mentioning these things because of the whole drama of Enigma and whatnot, what's happening, people just turning against each other or anything like that. It's just he was convicted concerning the subject, so he removed the video. Now, I do have a very persuasive personality concerning the holiness movement, and I know my personality sometimes might come off as thingy, but remember some of the like for instance me cutting him, when I said that I'm cutting him off from correction, so I've removed that. If you actually even look at that video right now, there was that video concerning that, right? So this video here on the thingy, if you go back and you look at what date that video was posted, 23rd June, I cut off his part on that video, I think. Not I think. I did. How do I keep saying I think? Yeah, 23rd, that's the video right there. So I cut off that part, his part, and thingy. The Bible tells us, if we are able to communicate or come to a place of being able to communicate, you've won a brother, right? So now we can deal with every other thing as secondaries, and we can talk about those things as secondaries, having recognized a level of respect for each other, or a place in which we communicate in that Christ is the one that unites both, right? Cutting off a person, it's a biblical practice. If you watch the video, I explained, I gave verses. 1 Corinthians chapter number 5, you read from verse 1 down. He tells you how the pride of a certain person in sin had now become acceptable within a church, and the church had a very wrong view concerning that. So he says he would rather that they cut this person out, or excommunicate, or remove them from, so that people don't think that's us. So it's a biblical thing, doing that. So I don't want you to think thingy. But that doesn't mean that we won't err in fellowship. We can have those principles as biblical principles. But in fellowship, that's where we keep going to and fro. And so we shouldn't seek to cut off relationships if there is clear reconciliation of brotherhood, right? You must be very clear on that and on this particular point. So I would also have to apologize if I don't know, in there's ways I've heard people saying that, I'm very unloving. I have a very strong personality. I tend to laugh a lot and whatnot. If you hear me saying things like it's childish, I hope I could communicate like what I'm trying to say, but sometimes it just takes way too long to explain it. Like if you hear me saying that, I know it's demeaning in a manner. I get it. But I'm hoping that one day you'll understand why when something comes up, I'm like, this is childish. It's not that I'm saying the people are childish. I'm saying the teaching is actually base. It's like primary stuff, And the guys in discipleship will tell you why I say those things. Because we've done like over 60, 70 hours worth of studies. 60, 70 hours is actually an understatement. We've done over 100 and something hours worth of Bible studies, where I got to explain what teachings qualify as mature subjects. So that's why sometimes you hear me saying that. And I know it can sound thingy, but in that moment when I'm saying it, I'm hoping that people will understand. This is like base, guys. We still have a very long way of going. When I made the video about holiness position and holiness practical, see, that's a conversation. We are not having that conversation. And so my apologies in how that might come off. But in my limit, it just gets thingy. That's what we are given. That's what we give grace for. We give grace because the human nature will come off as a person is conveying the truth that they have thinking. So thank you very, very much for the video. And also my apologies over to the guys over there that might feel like, those are, but the thing is, you don't want to remove those traces, because that's where your God is. Your God is held by that restraint, by having that upper layer, because I know a lot of people say, no, Ricky, you must be loving. They don't describe what do you mean by being loving. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's like, okay, loving how? because it is loving. Correcting is loving. Even a parent corrects because they love. You know, loving isn't, I just accept you. No, even God in his lovingness doesn't just accept us doing anything. We lose fellowship if we present anything, just about anything. If you read Romans chapter number 12, so that you have Bible reference, you see that. He says, do not conform unto the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So in that particular space, he says that the presentation of our body as holy sacrifice is our reasonable sacrifice. He says, if you do this, approval. So God also has those standards of presentation and how we ought to present things, right? And so, but we ought to have grace. We ought to have grace in that area where okay, no, I don't think this person meant it in thinking it might have come off a certain way. And so let's appreciate each other in that area. Thank you very, very much. Highly appreciated for the video, and also highly appreciated for the reconciliation. That way we know, we can vouch. Let me tell you why we make these things publicly. People always say, no, we mustn't fight. This is not fighting. The same way you have arguments in your family and you resolve them, this is it. You have an example of it, of what happens and where is it biblical. We are dealing with it biblically. You have an example of it, right? So you are watching me as I'm watching you. You're watching me and you're seeing how do we take those biblical steps towards reconciliation. Is that we must agree on a truth. There is truth. We don't compromise on truth. No, this is wrong. We can't accept this. Once we agree, okay, no, this is wrong. We have a base ground. Like our story was saying, we can't idolize a man. No, we can't do that. We can't. By conscience, should I now agree just so that views will be pashasha? No, it's not going to work. So once base ground has been recognized, now we have a ground by which we agree biblically. It's not by feelings. It's not by it's biblical. We can point back and say we reconcile here. We agree here. There are areas we don't agree, but here we agree. It builds. Now, that relationship is not built on illusion. It's not built on illusion because you think you are there having the illusion that I just think you are always right, or that I always think that I think that you think I am always right. There's no such. Even in church, when we walk in church, there are certain things in church that we might not like. We're not going to start whole issues about that. The truth we agree on. But then once we establish that, okay, Enigma is a person, right? And he's not the Bible, he's not the Holy Spirit. So we shouldn't be disagreeing because of him. No, that's not a legit reason to be disagreeing. Let's establish what is. So now we have a ground, biblical, not feelings. So should that happen? Should happen privately. The things that are private is the things that they're discussing with Pastor Moto and whatnot. Some of those things they shouldn't have even come out. All these things, speculations, these are grown people. Busy speculating about who's joining. Guys, come on, man. Come on. Now I think anyway, just for a while, he should just maybe write down his revelations and give them to someone to present them, because it's really affecting him. He's becoming angry. He's now, he's now counting how much money is coming into church. I'm like, no. If the church has hired you, right? If the church has hired you, yeah, okay, I can understand where that comes in. The church hasn't hired you. Some of those things, we need base. We need a base to be able to agree and say, yeah, no, it's not right. But anyways, yeah, be good. Thank you very, very much to Defender. Yeah, may the Lord bless you and keep you in his way and in his path. He who is faithful. It's Ricky. Y'all have a blessed day. Shout outs to y'all.